Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. In today's class, we will be beginning with India-Bangladesh relations. These are the topics under which we are going to talk about it. First one is importance of Bangladesh, timeline and phases, area of cooperation, areas of dispute between the two countries, the recent issue which is there between India and Bangladesh and the way forward. So basically, these are the subheads under which we will be talking about India-Bangladesh relations from the perspective of UPSC mains as well as from the prelims perspective. Okay, so see, this is the map of Bangladesh along with the northeastern region. The states of India which are bordering Bangladesh are West Bengal, Meghalaya, Assam, Tripura and Mizoram. These are the only 5 states which are bordering Bangladesh, and it's important to know about these states because it's important from the perspective of the prelims. Okay, because sometimes these type of questions are asked. So this is about the states which are bordering Bangladesh. Okay, so now let's talk about the strategic location of now, the importance of Bangladesh and the most important thing we are going to talk about is the strategic location. Okay. So the thing is that India and Bangladesh, they are sharing a very long border of 4096 kilometers. And the bordering states are West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. We have talked about them. I have shown you in the diagram as in the map as well that these are the 5 states which are sharing borders with Bangladesh. Okay, so and another thing we will talking about is northeastern states, they are landlocked and shorter route to sea lies through Bangladesh. See, look in this map that this is this green line. This green line is actually the maritime boundary, of India Bangladesh we can say, or the boundary like through which Bangladesh is connected to the sea, whereas these northeastern states of India, they are actually landlocked. They do not have direct access to the sea, and the direct access actually lies through Bangladesh. So it's important from this perspective as well. Another important thing, okay, India suffers from chicken's neck dilemma. Now what is this chicken's neck dilemma? Okay, look at this region. This here, the area which is connecting India to the northeastern states of India is this very narrow strip of land. This is approximately 26 to 28 kilometers wide only. Okay. So since this is only this much wide, so there is supposedly in future, if there is any kind of war between India and China, then this is going to be a kind of place. If this is going to be occupied by China, then it's going to impact then it is going to actually block our connection with the northeastern region. So this is a very sensitive point, basically we can say. That's why this dilemma is actually called as chicken's neck dilemma, because of this strip only 26 to 28 kilometers long. This is a very we can say very narrow thing, and through which India is connected to the northeastern region. तो इस चीज को ओवरकम करने में बांग्लादेश कैन एक्चुअली हेल्प इंडिया बिकॉज इट कैन प्रोवाइड डायरेक्ट रूट to the northeastern region. Okay, so this is a very important thing, and I think this is what is called as the chicken's neck dilemma of India, and Bangladesh can help to overcome it by permitting transit rights through Bangladesh. Okay, so this is about the strategic location. Another thing is security of the northeastern region. Actually, there is some problem of insurgency in northeastern regions, and because of the porous borders between India and Bangladesh, Bangladesh has actually become a safe haven for insurgent, Northeast insurgents. They actually have found safe haven in Bangladesh. Okay, so basically, in order to solve this problem, Bangladesh can help India. And there has also been a policy for Northeast insurgents by the Sheikh Hasina government, which was zero tolerance policy, okay, which has helped to reduce the insurgency from Bangladesh to a great extent. Okay, so next one is the bridge to the Southeast Asia. Actually, our northeastern region is our bridge to the Southeast Asia, and Bangladesh is also located at that point only, so it is also kind of acting as a bridge between India and Southeast Asia. It's also an important member of various organizations, be it SAARC, BIMSTEC, BBIN, and various other initiatives are also there with Bangladesh, and we will be talking about these initiatives as well, be it IMT Trilateral Highway, or be it Kaladan Multimodal Project. So we will be talking about them. Okay, so now let's move on to the phases or timeline in the relationship of India and Bangladesh. In 1971, Bangladesh became an independent country, and India also had a great role in this in the 1971 war. I have talked about the 1971 war in the greater detail in the previous classes of where I had talked about India Pakistan relations. So I would request you people to look at those videos as well of India Pakistan relations, so that you can know in great detail about 1971 war. Okay, so India helped. So here I'll be saying that yes, India helped Bangladesh to get independence in the 1971 year. So it was the time where Mujibur Rahman's, this is era is actually called as Mujibur Rahman's era, where Bangladesh got its liberation. So the first phases of 1971 to 75, then 75 to 90, then 90 onwards, and we have also subdivided the 1990 onwards as well, after like when democracy was re-established. So first one is, let's talk about these phases in the greater detail. First one is 1971 to 75. In 71, Bangladesh got its liberation. It is Mujibur Rahman's era. Here, the relations between India and Bangladesh, they were really good. Reason being that India has helped in the Bangladesh's creation, and it was the first one to recognize Bangladesh along with Bhutan. So that's why India and Bangladesh were having good relations, because Mujibur Rahman's government, it was actually a pro-democracy government. Okay, what happened in 1975 was the assassination of Mujibur Rahman, after which the military rule was established in Bangladesh. From 1975 to 1990, there was this military rule in Bangladesh, and because of which the relations with India actually deteriorated. The reason that India and Bangladesh were not having good relations at the time of 1975 to 90, at the time of military rule, the reasons are, the reasons of this, like India, why did Bangladesh adopted the policy to distance itself from India at the time of India एट द टाइम ऑफ मिलिट्री रूल? ऐसा क्या हुआ कि बांग्लादेश ने पॉलिसी अडॉप्ट की टू डिस्टेंस इटसेल्फ फ्रॉम इंडिया? सो द रीजन वाज दैट Bangladesh's military comprised officials repatriated from Pakistan's army, and therefore they were having anti-India attitude, and along with that military emphasized on Islamic identity of Bangladesh. Military तो क्या कहते हैं कि वही थी ना जिसने कि इंडिया के अगेंस्ट वॉर लड़ा था, 1971 वॉर, है ना? तो वो बेसिकली पाकिस्तान के साथ अपने आप को ज्यादा एसोसिएट करते थे और इंडिया के अगेंस्ट अपने आप को मानते थे. तो दैट्स व्हाई द मिलिट्री वाज अगेंस्ट इंडिया, एंड दैट्स व्हाई एट दैट टाइम द relations between India and Bangladesh deteriorated. 1990 onwards, democracy was re-established. There are two major political parties in Bangladesh. These are BNP Bangladesh Nationalist Party and another one is Awami League. These are the two parties which are there in Bangladesh. India is having good relations with Awami League, but BNP is actually pro-China and not pro-India. So India is not having bipartisan consensus. This is the term bipartisan consensus. India is not having this bipartisan consensus with Bangladesh that both the parties, political parties which are there in Bangladesh, they are not in favor of India. Just only one of the parties is having a pro-India attitude, that is Awami League. 91 to 96 BNP rule was there. 96 to 2001 Awami League was there, and it was at this time that Ganga Water Sharing Treaty it was actually signed. And after 2001 to 6 again BNP government was there. Then for 3 years there was caretaker government, and from 2009 onwards like there has been the rule of Awami League in Bangladesh. In 2024 as well, Awami League won the elections for the fourth consecutive term, but the situations are not really good in Bangladesh at this present point of time. And we will be talking about present situation later on. First of all, we will be talking about this phase, the recent phase, like before 2024 elections. We'll be talking about the entire time, like how the relations had been really good with Bangladesh when Awami League was there in power. Okay, so recent phase. So the first thing we can talk about is कि India lacks bipartisan consensus with Bangladesh. I have already talked about it. And but now at present Awami League, which is a pro India party, has been in power for 3 consecutive terms, has also won the 4th consecutive term now. It was there since 2009, and that's why the relations with India, they were actually at the peak, and this was called as Shonali Adhyay, or the golden chapter in the bilateral ties of India and Bangladesh. PM Sheikh Hasina has identified India-Bangladesh relations to represent model good neighborliness. These are the words of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, that India and Bangladesh are relations which can represent a model good neighborliness. Okay. So this is about the timeline of, basically we can say, from 2009 to 2024. Now things are actually, they have become, because of some internal conflict which is there in Bangladesh, there is problem in the relations. But yes, we will be talking up to the time of 2000, like before this situation in Bangladesh. Okay, so let's first talk about the areas of cooperation between India and Bangladesh. Okay, India and Bangladesh, they share the deep-rooted bonds of history, language, culture, and multitude of other commonalities. And there is outstanding nature of these bilateral ties is reflected in all-compassing partnership based on sovereignty, equality, trust, and understanding. Okay, so let's talk about the areas of cooperation or the present situation, like before this situation, before this internal conflict in Bangladesh, how the relations were there with Bangladesh, how this chapter was called as the Shonali Adhyay, or why this chapter was called as Shonali Adhyay between of the bilateral ties, or the golden chapter of the bilateral ties. See, on 1st November 2023, both the Prime Ministers jointly inaugurated 3 Indian-assisted development cooperation projects in Bangladesh: Akhora-Agartala cross-border rail link, Khulna-Mongla port rail line, and Unit 2 of Maitri Super thermal power plant. Okay, these are the, like, from the perspective of rail links or the energy related sector. So these were the new projects which have been inaugurated by both the prime ministers, like our prime minister, honorable prime minister like Narendra Modi ji, and the prime minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina ji. Okay, so when it comes to the security and the border management, there has been active cooperation between various agencies of both the countries, which have been working together to cooperate on the police matters, anti-corruption activities, combat the issues of illicit drug trafficking, fake currency, human trafficking, among the others. Like there have been active cooperation among various agencies on these issues. Okay, peaceful and cooperative management and mechanism for the security of 4096 kilometer long international border. They are actively focused on border fencing, joint inspection of the boundary pillars, joint boundary demarcation, including the riverine boundaries, among others. Okay, so there has been this management of border amongst India and Pakistan, and we will also be talking about the agreements which had actually taken place solving the boundary issues which took place in the year of 2014 and 2015. Let's talk about them first. So there was this land boundary agreement which took place in 2015. 6.5 kilometers of undemarcated borders was settled. Okay, issue of adverse possessions which arose because of the rivers changing their courses given the riverine nature of the part of border. Since a part of border is having riverine in nature, so there were some issues, like since the part of the border is riverine and the rivers change their course, and because of rivers changing their course there are issues with the border. ठीक है, और उस इशू को सॉल्व किया गया था थ्रू दिस लैंड बाउंड्री अग्रीमेंट. देयर वाज आल्सो एक्सचेंज ऑफ एनक्लेव्स, लाइक इंडिया के जो एनक्लेव्स थे विच वर देयर इन बांग्लादेश एंड बांग्लादेश के जो एनक्लेव्स थे विच वर देयर इन इंडिया, दे वर एक्चुअली एक्सचेंज्ड, एंड दिस वाज ऑपरेशनलाइज्ड थ्रू 100th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट. ओके, in India. Okay, then is the maritime boundary settlement. How did it took place? There was this ruling by permanent court of arbitration. This ruling by permanent court of arbitration. India did not contest its ruling. Like permanent court of arbitration gave ruling in favor of Bangladesh, and India did not contest this ruling. Although India lost claim over 19,500 square kilometer area, India lost, which was there present in the Bay of Bengal region, but India did not contest the ruling of permanent court of arbitration. Okay, so this is how basically borders are being managed between India and Pakistan. Border issues were resolved in case of India and Bangladesh. Sorry for talking Pakistan. Okay, so we were talking about security and border management, and another, when it comes to border management, actually there's this problem of insurgency. There is this problem of insurgency between India and Bangladesh. So I have already told you about it, that Sheikh Hasina government has adopted this zero tolerance policy against Indian insurgents. Okay, and this has helped to improve the situation of insurgency in Northeast a lot. Okay, then comes the trade factor. Bangladesh is India's biggest trade partner in South Asia, and India is the second biggest trade partner of Bangladesh in Asia. Bangladesh exported $1.97 billion of goods to India in 2023-24. These are the latest reports, and I've taken this data from the website of Ministry of External Affairs. And in financial year 23-24, total bilateral trade has been reported as $14.01 billion. So this is about the trade relations with Bangladesh. Then is connectivity. We have already talked about the two rail links which have been inaugurated in Bangladesh by the India's assistance. Now let's talk about other as well. Rail connectivity. Recently, this is talking about the 6th cross-border rail link between Agartala station in India and Akara in Bangladesh on 1st November 2023. We have talked about it, and there are other 5 as well which have been operationalized. These are Haldibari, India to Chilahati in Bangladesh, Petrapol in India to Benapol in Bangladesh, KD in India to Darshana in Bangladesh, Singhabad in India to Rohanpur in Bangladesh, Radhikapur in India to Birol in Bangladesh. I'm sorry if I am pronouncing it wrong, but yes, these are the 5 other rail links which have been operationalized. Okay, then comes the road and inland water connectivity. There are 5 bus service routes which are operational between India and Bangladesh, which are connecting the cities of Kolkata, Agartala, Guwahati to Dhaka and further up to Khulna. India and Bangladesh, they have a protocol of inland waterways, trade and transit that has been operationalized since the year of 1972 for facilitating trade and transit between the two countries through the inland waters. Okay, so these are basically in the case of road and inland water connectivity. Then comes the port connectivity. Since both the countries have operationalized, there is an agreement related to Chittagong and Mongla port, which has been operationalized in the year of 2023, and this is going to allow India to avail the services of these ports for transit cargo between northeast and the mainland, and this is also actually going to be a positive point. We have talked about chicken snake dilemma, and this is going to be a positive point in that case as well. And also it's because that Bangladesh is providing the sea link to the landlocked northeastern region. Okay, so that's about the port connectivity. Then power and energy, we have talked about it earlier as well, on the 1st November, the Metri uh, Matri super thermal power plant, which has been operational in supplying electricity to Bangladesh grid. Another thing is India-Bangladesh friendship pipeline, which has been there between both the countries for the carriage of high-speed diesel from India to Bangladesh, which was inaugurated by both the prime ministers in March 2023. This is about India-Bangladesh friendship pipeline, and we have also talked about Matri super thermal power plant. This is about power from the perspective of power and energy. Then comes the development partnership. See, in case of development partnership, Bangladesh is largest development partner of India today. India has extended 3 line of credits to Bangladesh in the last 8 years, which amount to $8.9 billion for the development of infrastructure in various sectors, including road, railway, shipping, ports. And also there are some projects, high impact community development projects. Overall, there have been 93 high impact community development projects which amount to $50 million. Okay, India is providing assistance in these projects. 77 have been operationalized and others are actually in process. Okay, this is about the development partnership. Then it comes to the defense sector. Okay, when it comes to defense sector, significant bilateral exchanges took place in the year of 23 to 24 with incoming and outgoing of chiefs of Indian and Bangladesh armed forces. So this is about the defense sector. There are also cultural ties, which are historical and cultural ties which are there with Bangladesh. Okay, so these are actually the areas of cooperation between the countries of India and Bangladesh. Okay, like where we are sharing, like why, if we call it as, like why was it called as the golden chapter between India and between the country, why was it actually called as a golden chapter in the bilateral ties? So we can write these points like how good the relations were there with the country of Bangladesh. Okay, so these are the areas of cooperation between India and Bangladesh. These are the areas where both the countries have cooperated. From the next class, we will be talking about the topics the bilateral disputes. There are some areas where there are disputes as well with Bangladesh. Okay, so we will be talking about those subtopics in this, and also we will be talking about the present situation which is there in Bangladesh. That's all for today. I hope that this is making the topics clearer to you. In case of any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. So Thank you so much. See you the next time. Bye.